guys, what's up? It's me, Thomas. Today we're back here with Just Bad Games. Tonight, well, it's a shoot 'em up. Duke Nukem Forever. If you guys know Duke Nukem, it's, well, I'm just gonna let the video explain itself, but yeesh. One of the most hyped games to one of the most disappointed ones. Definitely fell off the high train on this one. So, how about we take a look back and see how things looked? Or see what went wrong for Duke Nukem. Be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy. Here we go.
Duke Nukem Forever is a first-person shooter released for the PC, Mac, PS3, and Xbox 360 in 2011. It was developed by,
Jeez.
That's complicated.
Duke Nukem first appeared back in 1991 with a 2D platforming game for DOS.
Shooting squiggles and watching Oprah. Really?
Let me show you my O-face. Oh. This was followed up in 93 with Duke Nukem 2.
He's back!
I am back.
With particle effects.
Then, in 1996, developer 3D Realms followed in the successful footprints of games like Wolfenstein 3D and Doom by releasing Duke Nukem 3D.
Duke 3D combined great world and gameplay designs with innovative FPS mechanics. Plus, it included tons of iconic action flick one-liners.
I'm looking good.
Voiced by none other than future Big the Cat crooner, John St. John.
Hold on, Froggy. I'm coming.
Needless to say, the game was a huge success, winning plenty of acclaim.
And when 3D Realms announced a sequel, Duke Nukem Forever, in 1997, fans of the franchise were elated.
But that excitement would be put to the test.
Like we said, Duke Nukem Forever released in 2011. Now, that's not a mistake. This game took...
Hold on, I'll get it. All right. Take the 5, 7, raise the 6.
14 years.
4 years in development, then 14 years? This game took 14 years to finish? That's gotta be a record or something.
Yep.
Throughout its long development, other Duke games were released by other developers, but they were never the true sequel fans crave.
A drip feed of information on Forever would pop up from time to time, with trailers at E3 98 and then again in 2001. But hold on, is it just me or do these two games look completely different?
They were! The team at 3D Realms switched game engines a lot, requiring the team to scrap mostly everything and start fresh. This happened more than once.
From the outside, it was hard to tell what was going on, and the game's release date was pushed back practically forever?
But no, this was just a side stop on King Duke's journey. Ex-developers continued work on the game from their homes. They'd eventually form their own studio, Triptych Games, but they needed backup.
So in 2010, 3D Realms approached Gearbox Software to aid Triptych in finishing up. Why Gearbox? Well, because it was headed by former 3D Realms employee, Randy Pitchford. He's a magician.
And I'm a magician. I screwed up both your games.
Gearbox promised to get the dang game out, and after a few more minor delays...
Not even Duke Nukem himself can get in our way. It's the unshippable game, and we're finally shipping it.
Finally, in 2011, Duke Nukem Forever was released.
Some kind of a joke?
With a game flung through a revolving door of tech, talent, and ideas, just what kind of Duke stepped out on the other side?
About time we found out.
Let's kick bubblegum and chew ass. Wait, no,
Let's play Duke Nukem Forever.
We start with an iconic line from Duke's first 3D outing.
Those alien are gonna pay for shooting up my ride.
Credits roll. The logo flies onto the screen. Exciting.
Now, how do you start one of the most anticipated badass sequels ever? A firefight? Explosions? No doubt something worthy of all the time we've waited?
Nope.
Press left mouse button to pee.
Time to stop pissing around and get this big guy back into action.
Really pissing? Oh, this is...
Okay.
Go to nearby toilets. Pick up a poopy.
Why?
Toss.
What kind of sick motherfucker picks up wet feces?
14
Years.
years.
Well, moving into what is a stadium locker room, Duke encounters soldiers going over a plan to defeat a cycloid emperor. Right, maybe part of their plan is giving the hero a gun?
Okay, Mark was first, then firearm?
That's genius!
Oh no, his bicep is clipping. How did they miss a hiccup like that so early into the game?
Funny enough, players actually got stuck here and, no joke, needed to seek help online to find out how to escape the whiteboard.
Not us though, because we're really good gamer types. We never would have searched this on Google ourselves. Drawing, pee, poop flinging, fine and dandy.
Come on, no. This is disgusting.
But where's the real gameplay? Give me a weapon. Upon starting Duke Nukem 3D, you were immediately embroiled in action, gun in hand, ready to kick some tail.
Well, that's next. Look, an elevator has Duke's famous Devastator weapon on it. We're raised onto a field to fight the Cycloid Emperor. This is the iconic final boss fight from Duke Nukem 3D, but brought back as a tutorial.
Let me tell you, this is a far cry from the climactic battle in Duke 3D. It's a bad playing, shallow experience begging returning players to don thick rose-tinted glasses in lieu of doing something interesting or original.
The rancid cherry on top of this stupid, easy retread, the famous scene of Duke kicking the Emperor's eye for a field goal, it's nowhere near as epic as it was before. It instantly snaps Duke and the Emperor to an alternate position. Looks unfinished.
It's good.
Great start.
But suddenly, the camera pulls back to reveal the whole tutorial was actually a video game that Duke himself was playing. Oh, I get it. It sucked on purpose.
Speaking of sucking, we're greeted by two girls who were
Shining his shoes while he played the game.
Sure.
Yep,
Okay.
shoe shiner girls is what they are.
with their faces.
Hold on, Froggy. I'm coming.
What about the game, Duke? Was it any good?
Yeah, but after 12 years, it should be.
Duke considered
good?
that game good? Oh crap, we're in for a bad time.
Now we have access to the actual game, starting off in Duke's Las Vegas penthouse, complete with a gorgeous view of the strip below.
Why does it look like someone slathered Vaseline all over the windows?
Yeah, that slimy window thing, that's what the game looks like with the advanced post-processing visual effect turned on. If we switch it off,
We can see the fountain doing its thing. And check out the back. That's Dr. Proton's building. He was the villain from the first Duke Nukem. There's a ton of cool detail here.
yeah, detail that's totally hidden with the post-processing slathered on with the game's default settings.
Already bad design choices aplenty. Like here, we get to explore Duke's apartment. But instead of making the level intuitive to navigate, they did this.
Interactive objects glow. But why the handhold? It's unnecessary. Duke was a series designed around exploration. Previous entries encouraged you to find your own way through levels. Exploration was half the fun, so why pretend to celebrate the game's lineage with a crap version of the Emperor battle when you strip away the basics that made the first game interesting anyway? Guess they think we're too stupid.
Speaking of stupidity, look at these background models. That one holding the camera seems like they've been petrified. Might have helped to, you know, animate all of them.
Poor design also leads to heavily scripted scenes that only activate when the player is in a certain location. Like here, the game wants you to listen to the news report about the aliens returning.
How do we know this is important? Because the game won't let us leave. There's a crowd of people blocking our path until the scene is complete, and then we're allowed to keep moving.
And not all these scripted sequences work properly. Here, a father-son duo ask for Duke's autograph, but the animation is programmed assuming you'll be in one specific spot.
If you're not, though, they talk to empty air, like a malfunctioning Disneyland animatronic.
Go on and ask him, Jimmy.
Mr. Nukem, will you sign this for...
Duh!
For added fun, if you go into the setting and turn off the dialogue volume, when an NPC talks, their lips don't move. Lip movement is tied to the game audio, I guess. Bad scripting, poor design, glitches, and we've only just started the game. We barely touched a weapon.
There's really not so much
They're not
S
looking good.
in this FPS.
Yeah.
But hey, you can get boxes of cigarettes out of the vending machine and throw them at people. It doesn't hurt them, but it does alter gravity.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a glitch.
All of this is on the way to Duke's base of operations, where he can learn more about the alien invasion, the entrance to which is in Duke's museum to his own awesomeness.
It contains a collection of images directly from Duke's previous adventures, which which doesn't really make sense, considering that in this world, these images probably shouldn't look like old DOS games from our world, right?
Duke heads to his throne that acts as a secret elevator to his base, but it's also a photo opportunity for tourists.
There's a kid here that won't leave without a photo. After taking the snapshot, it gets printed and the kid runs off without it.
I can't wait to check my mail!
In Duke's base, the President of the United States orders him not to engage the aliens.
Do not get involved. That's an order.
He is attempting peace talks with the new Cycloid Emperor. You know, after the first one got the field goal treatment.
Yeah, that.
It's good.
The general, while not happy with the situation, agrees with the president that a chance at peace may be possible and orders Duke to
how long
stand
that
down.
lasts.
In the very next room, though, Duke watches as his defense turret is being destroyed by the aliens. Guess the peace talks failed in the 10 seconds we walked into the other room.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
A nearby door is pried open by an alien, and he attempts to swing at Duke. In order to pass him, you have to take him out with your fists. Give us a gun!
Duke's punches have the connective oomph of a hamster sigh. Hey, why is Duke even punching? This man is a kicker. He kicks.
Past the door, Duke can pick up trophies and one-hit kill enemies.
Why do Duke's punches cause less damage than tossing tiny objects?
Sounds like he needs to bulk up. Good thing the next area is an exercise room.
Not heavy enough.
Time to talk about Duke's ego.
No, not his character's obvious narcissistic tendencies. I don't even know what that means. Ego is the game's health bar.
In Duke Nukem Forever, ego is lost when you take damage. It slowly regenerates after a time of not getting hit, similar to the health recharging mechanics of other popular FPS games.
You make Duke stronger by increasing his max ego through interacting with random objects in the game. To find out what they are, you have to hunt for them. And if you miss one, you lose it forever, because this is a linear game where you can't backtrack. Oh, and they're easy to miss.
Ego boosts are gained through various events, like having Duke admire himself in a mirror, do various fitness routines, or by playing pool.
Remember the pool table from Duke 3D? It's back. But instead of being a fun diversion, it directly affects your vitality.
Only this ego booster is not telegraphed in any way, so most gamers probably started a game, enjoyed the novelty for all of a second, and then moved on.
You can also get a temporary boost in ego with items like beer. Don't you know that drinking beer makes you tougher? Says so right here.
Unfortunately, this also messes with your vision, giving everything a drunken blur effect.
Post-processing is freaking awesome.
That was exactly one beer.
We're now at least 30 minutes into this game, and only now do we
got
get
the
a
gun.
legit weapon.
This game's attitude towards its arsenal is so different from previous games in the franchise. Duke 3D, for example, gave you access to every weapon that you already found at all times.
Not only that, but you started off with your pistol before grabbing both your RPG and shotgun within the first minute. Here, 30 minutes with just your, Dukes.
Even with guns, we're limited because Duke can only carry 2 at a time. That's it. Since bosses can only be damaged by explosives, that means one of those 2 slots will always be taken up by your RPG or similar weapon, leaving you with just 1 active weapon slot for regular enemies.
And that will usually just be whatever gun you have ammo for. Ammo crates are so scarce, you'll constantly drop your main weapon and pick up whatever your enemies have left lying around. Eventually, the game was updated to add an optional setting to increase Duke's inventory to 4 slots. But that's still not the full arsenal. Hey, I want all my weapons.
By the way, Duke Nukem Forever doesn't really have much of interest in its attack roster. Most weapons you acquire are worse-handling versions of holdovers from Duke Nukem 3D.
There are a couple of alien weapons that Duke can borrow from blasted foes, but they play like the pistol, only with projectile laser effects.
In Duke 3D, we had the Freeze Ray, the Shrink Ray, the Expander. These were all creative attack tools at the time.
Continuing on, we climb through some vents.
Yeah, they're really doing them dirty right now. Ain't it? Like, I can already tell this is just doing Duke dirty. Anyone else agree? Let me know. Anywho,
a few aliens in the dark until we come across a seesaw puzzle. Reminds me of Half-Life 2. Nah, probably a coincidence.
Eventually, we make it to the reactor room and are tasked with finding 3 energy cells to power the reactor. The first 2 are in the room itself, but the third is in a storage room nearby, where
we get to control an RC car from a distance in a separate room. We need to knock the cell onto the floor and out through a hole in the wall.
This is hard to accomplish. Your viewing angle is from Duke's location outside, and the controls are oriented to wherever the car's facing. The controls suck.
Almost got it. Almost there. Wait. Oh, damn it.
Grab the cell, charge the reactor, access the mounted cannon, take out the alien mothership.
We notice something interesting here. If you do nothing, the mothership will just sit there waiting for you to fire on it. The whole game pauses until Duke shoots first.
Apparently, if Duke just does nothing, the game, the invasion, everything could end immediately. So, self-control, Duke. Self-control.
What did you say? Shoot a hole?
Yeah.
Damn it, man! Whoa, boy, that must have been some explosion to knock the Dukester out cold.
When Duke wakes up, he crawls through loads of vents and eventually makes his way back into the hotel.
Oh my god, Duke!
We're not that far into the game, but boy, we've seen a lot of vents.
Move out to Vegas, kill a few aliens, toss a few craps. Double entendre. I think that's French for I play with my own shit.
Around the corner, we run into a shrink trap. Remember these from Duke 3D? Duke gets fun-sized and travels around like a mouse. Usually, this opens up new exploration possibilities, but in Duke Forever, it's just, more vents.
We eventually meet up with a young boy, the boy's mother, and more importantly, the boy's RC car. Time for the game's first driving section.
Unfortunately, the physics make driving a complete mess. Turning is slow, which makes lining up the car for jumps super tedious. Worse, when your aim's off, the car slams into a wall and you need to back up and readjust to progress.
It's annoying as you go through various jumps through the hotel. It gets worse later on in the game, but we'll get to that later.
Continuing through more hallways and convenient jumps, we take one last boosted leap before crashing the RC car.
We meet up with an Earth Defense Force soldier.
No relation.
And the Shoeshine twins.
Yes, relations.
They have a particle expander that can restore Duke to normal size. Great, and just in time for combat. In a room with little cover to hide behind.
How are we supposed to keep recovering health without a place to cover?
Who knows? Most of the enemies have the high ground, so you really just have to suck it up and get good.
When enough foes are slaughtered, 2 aliens teleport in to swipe the twins. It's a scripted event that can't be altered.
Not my babes. Not in my town. You alien motherfuckers are gonna pay for this.
With no way forward, we head back. Full-sized. This game reuses levels like a carpenter with short-term memory loss. Think about it. Like a bubble level?
I still don't get it.
Here, a series of pig cops come charging down the hallway with horrific AI. Their strategy seems to be hurling their bodies at our bullets.
We meet up with a general who informs us that the aliens have occupied the Hoover Dam and are using its power to create a wormhole in the sky.
The aliens have gigantic spaceships capable of interstellar travel, teleportation devices, shrink traps, but the only way they can open a wormhole is with a dam we humans built in the 30s? Okay.
But the dam's power siphoning isn't Duke's biggest problem.
They're taking our women, Duke. I think you understand the implications here. Screw the dam. Where are they taking our chicks?
Priorities. The aliens are taking the kidnapped women to the Duke Dome, so now instead of dealing with a giant freaking doomsday wormhole, Duke needs to get his
chicks.
Outside Duke's ruined casino, we meet up with 2 soldiers who seem to be spouting lines written by grade schoolers that just learned all the best naughty words.
Duke, good to f***ing see ya. I knew that retirement bull was just bull. That retirement sh**. I just got back from helping my friend find his wife. What a
Was that English?
Whoa, Master Chief's armor from Halo.
Power armor is for p***s.
No, Dukey boy, you don't get to say that. Not when your game discards Duke Nukem 3D's health system with one directly ripped from the pages of Halo. Oh, and then there's the fact that your weapon carry limitation just so happens to be the same as Halo as well.
Yeah, many design choices are swiped from popular shooters released throughout Duke's development. The game's basically a grotesque clown car stuffed tight with used ideas.
Get in there, game we definitely didn't copy.
Now we're plowing through.
Yeah, boy. That makes sense, but... Oh boy. Not sure why you would do that, but... To each their own, as they say. Anyway.
Through the streets of Vegas with no help from special forces. Why are they even here?
At one point, we're gunned down by an airship, and Private Jenkins ends up getting killed, to which Duke responds,
Damn it, Leroy.
Yeah, this joke was old in 2011.
Eventually, we reach a very large, angry boss monster. After we strafe around and play Punch the Alien Sausage, we get puzzles.
Like jump across some water that's occasionally electrified and shoot the fire extinguisher on the hanging dead body to put out some fire.
Just like the health system and gun limits, they're clearly borrowing these puzzle mechanics from other games.
Remember the Half-Life seesaw puzzle earlier? Not a coincidence. Valve-style puzzles show up a lot here, including a seesaw fetch quest.
Here, we need to collect a bunch of oil barrels from the nearby area and dump them in a rocking shipping container to reach the ledge and move on. That's Half-Life 2, only with none of Valve's gameplay philosophy or charm.
We burn a path to the Duke Dome. As we traverse, we come across alien jump pads, which seem like they would only benefit Duke Nukem, the man coming to kill every one of them.
We bounce around like a moron and find Duke's favorite pair of boot polishers. It doesn't go well.
Oh, what happened? What's under the black boxes?
Have you ever seen the movie Alien?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Graphic. Feel like we should have a moment of silence or something.
Or them. The shoe checkers.
Hey, wanna slap some wall boobs?
Strange silicone-based life form.
Chickless, Duke bounces through an explosive puzzle and makes it to a boss, a giant mama alien called Queen Bitch. She, how do we put this? Someone watched Total Recall.
You blow her up with a mixture of pipe bombs and bounce pads, all while questioning how a race of aliens that clearly spawn from eggs requires a queen alien with 3 mammary glands.
You do the deed and are met with a nice big
See
explosion. It knocks Duke backwards. Duke fades into unconsciousness while an engineer runs over to help.
Duke is once again knocked out, and we dive into his subconscious in
Duke Nukem's Titty City. Duke is in a coma, I guess, and inside his mind there's a strip club. Duke is tasked by a dream exotic dancer to find a bag of popcorn, a strangely shaped back massager, and a tubular balloon.
For once, the game gives us absolutely no direction as to where to find anything.
It's literally what we wanted the whole game. Free exploration. Run around all over the place and find what you need. Interact with everything. See? So why isn't it fun?
Because they miss what made Duke 3D's exploration good. In the past, you had to look for a single item at a time, like say a key card. You'd find one that would let you progress to the next area. It was near instant gratification.
And this, unfortunately, it feels like it doesn't matter. It's a dream, narratively useless. It just serves to show how vapid Duke's mind really is. Maybe it's supposed to be funny? Are we supposed to enjoy the fact that Duke seems brain dead?
Once we finish our fetch quest, we head upstairs and talk to the stripper. She gives us a lap dance, and then
we wake up inside a chopper with an EDF soldier working a mounted gun in front of us.
We learn that the president is blaming Duke for the alien attack.
You missed a lot. The president's claiming you attacked the aliens first.
Which we didn't. The aliens were already attacking everything and everyone.
The chopper is hit, and we crash into the Duke Burger Tower, where we get a fun level glitch. There should be a scripted event that causes a piece of concrete to fall here, giving us a path forward. This never happened.
We didn't realize this until we tried to make an impossible jump. Upon redoing the encounter, the concrete fell correctly this time.
Glitches and visual sloppiness abound. An alien with a jetpack thinks it's a good idea to drag Duke up into the sky, probably to drop him from a great height.
Shame he doesn't count on Duke punching his head off. Or at least I assume that's what happens. They never animated the head coming off. We just kept punching and it disappears.
But what comes next is a heavy contender for the worst part of this entire game, the Duke Burger Kitchen.
I hate this place so much. Up until this point, we've kind of glossed over platforming in this game, but here, we gotta get into it.
The kitchen is flooded. Not only that, it's electrified. You've been travel-sized again and need to hop around the entire kitchen, jumping off of ovens and burners that are scorching. All the while, enemies spawn in, trying to shoot you.
If you make a wrong move, you either burn your feet in hot grease, or fall butt first into soon-to-be electrified water.
All this while a stupid employee stuck in the middle of the room won't stop talking.
He's so cute, all small like that. I just want to put him in a burger and eat him up.
But eventually, we made it through and turned off the power. The employee thanks us by opening the door to another back room with, oh good, another vent we climbed through.
Vents, 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 vents. What is with this game and vents? The only thing that has more airflow is the breeze passing between Duke's ears.
What?
This game needs to shake things up. It can't just keep repeating itself.
Well, you're not in luck, because here is another Duke truck sequence. Only now, the truck is life-sized.
The Mighty Foot is a truck covered in fake sponsored ads from companies like Passing Gas Co., Pooty Incorporated, Poop Shoot Industries. It's perfect. The truck has crap advertising and handles like it too.
Driving is just as bad as ever. Last time we were behind the wheel, mishaps only seemed to occur when dealing with jumps, and there weren't that many. The rest of the space was flat. But here, there's absolutely no flat space to be found.
One wrong move and the truck flings out from level geometry. It's impossible to control, so we came up with a strategy for this action-packed sequence.
Yeah, move slower than my grandpa through a Wendy's drive-thru.
But they had to make it worse, so they throw in another mechanic, a diminishing fuel reserve. What a great idea. Make the driving unbearable and then give the player freaking gasoline fetch quests.
After we find the gas, it's back to more jumping off concrete and driving through lazily similar designed levels until the truck magically runs out of gas again. Oh, welcome to Ghost Town.
Oh, no!
Yeah, no way.
Sure, this town seems fine at first, but look close enough and the buildings are completely empty, devoid of anything of interest.
We fight enemies, do a physics puzzle, get a gas canister. Then back into the driver's seat. That whole section was just for that?
Yup, then we run out of gas again and hunt for more minutes later. Are they serious?
Another location. This time we get to ride a minecart. The linear game design has devolved into a literal on-rails experience.
Ow. You take in this pointless time filler, and the last minecart takes you directly back to your truck. I mean, if you have to do some backtracking, it's better to have actual track to help you, am I right?
With the truck filled up once again, we drive the thing into the water outside the dam, where it promptly despawns. Tell me to get more gasoline now, you shitheads!
We get topside and go face to face with the president himself, who berates us for getting involved.
Damn it, Duke!
Only for him to be evac'd away. At least, maybe that was supposed to happen?
If you keep watching the president and his agents, they run to the dropship and just stand there. The game waits until you've walked away to actually remove the characters from the level. Guess they wanted to save on animating them getting into the chopper.
Also, at some point during the years, the devs clearly played GoldenEye, so they did a whole jump off the dam with a bungee cord sequence. Go on and add 007 to the clown car we talked about earlier.
Get in the car, James.
Then we get the freeze ray, but as you'd probably expect, it's not so cool.
In Duke 3D, you had the freeze thrower, which shot projectiles that dealt instant damage to your foes or even froze them solid.
The freeze ray is an ice beam that you have to aim at enemies for a long time to freeze them. And then they're not even dead. You still have to walk up to them and execute them while avoiding attacks from other aliens.
This is against enemies that normally only take 1 or 2 hits with a regular weapon. Why go through the hassle of freezing them?
Toss the freeze ray as soon as you can. Just not for the RPG. Close quarters levels like this are apparently not meant for explosives.
These weapons limitations are infuriating. Would be real great to have access to all your weapons at once. Right?
Once we clear the area, a dam technician lets us continue on. Continue to what? Valve puzzles.
I hate valve puzzles.
Oh, good. They're making fun of Half-Life now. Turn the valves to spray alien obstacles with acid to dissolve them.
I guess you could say we're fed up with these puzzles.
Yeah. Once outside, we're met with this confusing scene.
Get back out there, Duke! I'll raise the door! Oh my god! It shot me! It shot me! Ah!
Looks like the guy's lower half is being eaten, but when we pick up the sliding door, he looks fine.
Until Duke drops the door on him. Oh, Great job!
Now we get to drive a forklift. Surprisingly, this thing actually works.
And it's kinda fun. We ride down the nicely spaced and roomy hallways with enough warning to turn into our enemies and mow them down.
But just like that, it was over.
30 seconds of actual gameplay? Really? That's all they could give us?
There's no time. We need to get to the next achingly bad section, which happens to be everyone's favorite element-based level.
Oh no.
An underwater section.
In this game? Are you serious?
Not fun. The whole area is submerged, and you don't have a breathing device like the scuba gear in Duke Nukem 3D. You'll need to reach air bubbles that come up from the ground, Sonic style, to refill your oxygen.
Submerged, you have to interact with objects to make a path. This potentially leads you to getting stuck and losing health while interacting.
Here, enemies swarm at you, making it take longer to get to the next pocket of air.
We're forced through a bloated course brimming with oxygen hunting, puzzle solving, obstacles, and plenty of enemies to shoot.
Getting the hang of it? Oh good. Here's an underwater boss battle.
This tentacled freak is only damaged by rockets, so you're constantly searching for ammo, while also searching for oxygen, while also dodging the boss's attacks. We made sushi with him by the skin of our teeth.
We set charges to blow the dam. We escape by running across a spiral staircase with explosive barrels flying at us.
Oh, I was expecting a monkey.
Cool. Donkey Kong.
Make it through, and you get a nice view of the dam breaking apart. Duke passes out again.
He faints more than a shocked aristocrat finding they're out of Grey Poupon.
Poor old Duke awakens from a soldier performing CPR. An angry president waits nearby who informs us that he was going to use the aliens for his own benefit.
I was gonna have the whole world! The whole world! You idiot!
And would have gotten away with it too if Mr. Nukem hadn't interfered.
Instead of killing Duke while he was unconscious, he waits for him to wake up so he can dramatically make a command over the radio.
You like nukes? You got one. Satellite is landing as we speak.
A nuke being dropped on Duke. Poetic.
Think you could clip the prez here? Nah, you can't. It's all scripted. Just like it's scripted that the Emperor will show up at this precise moment and deal with the president for us. Gee, thanks.
Time for the final battle. One last long ammo hunting, minion killing smorgasbord.
Every time you empty the health gauge on the Emperor, you run up and spam buttons to knock off some of his equipment only to do it again. Tedious, but not complicated.
After your final bout, the Emperor falls. Duke takes a moment, while enemies are still firing on him, to pee in the Emperor's eye before making a run for the dropship.
We leap. The general grabs hold as the ship takes off, moments away from the arrival of the president's nuke. The dropship spins out of control, and the screen goes black.
But don't worry, Duke's not dead.
We get a press conference where Duke, alive and well, says he now plans to run for president.
There's a strip joint that lives in my head.
Sure, okay, great.
There's some DLC that takes place after this, but really, after playing this, would you want to play more?
This game is a prime example of what happens when there are too many cooks in the kitchen.
What's most disappointing? The exciting 2001 E3 demo was actually playable with a lot of it done, according to developers who worked on the project. That's the game we wanted. Heck, we still want it.
But it was all scrapped and restarted again and again until all the fresh new ideas and concepts it once contained were replaced with parodies of far better experiences. And sadly, the game became a poorly executed parody of its own franchise.
Unfortunately, this is the Duke Nukem Forever that we have forever. And after all the time we had to wait for a proper Duke Nukem 3D sequel, you'll understand our disappointment when we claim
it's just bad.
Also love how they use the drawing they did on the whiteboard too. But yeesh. Yeah, you can definitely see why this one was kind of a franchise killer for Duke Nukem. Here's to you, Duke. Hate for it to happen to you, you know? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.